Imagine a time when eggs were considered the ultimate superfood. No diseases, no risk, just pure, nutritious power in every shell. But today, eating eggs could make you sick. What happened? Stay tuned to find out the shocking truth about medieval eggs vs. modern eggs. In medieval times, eggs were celebrated as a vital part of the diet, hailed not only for their convenience, but for their incredible nutritional value. These humble foods were more than just a protein source. They were a symbol of health and vitality. Unlike today's, where eggs are often associated with debates over cholesterol and foodborne illnesses, the medieval egg was revered for its purity, richness, and ability to nourish individuals from all walks of life. The very essence of medieval life depended on local and sustainable food sources, and eggs were among the most reliable. One of the primary reasons eggs in medieval times were considered a superfood was the way they were produced. Unlike the mass industrial farming practices of today, eggs in medieval Europe were typically produced by hens that roamed freely, allowed to forage on natural diets. These hens ate a wide variety of foods, from grains to insects and weeds, which gave their eggs a much broader nutrient profile than the factory-farmed eggs we consume today. This diverse diet contributed to higher levels of essential fatty acids, vitamins, and minerals. The yolks were rich in vibrant, deep yellow pigments, a sign of their superior nutrition, especially compared to the pale yolks of modern factory-farmed eggs. The conditions under which hens were raised in medieval times were vastly different from those found in the current industrial farming system. In the Middle Ages, chickens were often kept in small flocks, with room to roam freely in the yard or garden. This free-range lifestyle, free from confinement and overcrowding, allowed hens to exercise and live in environments that promoted natural behaviors. They were not confined to the small, stressful cages seen in industrial farming today, which have been shown to produce less healthy animals. The stress and cramped quarters of modern farming affect not only the chickens' health but also the quality of their eggs. Eggs were an essential part of the diet, especially for those in rural communities where meat was often scarce or too expensive. For peasants and farmers, eggs were a reliable, accessible, and affordable source of protein. Unlike other forms of animal protein, which were reserved for the wealthy or special occasions, eggs were a consistent source of nourishment. They were easy to store, transport, and prepare, making them a staple food item in many households. Not only did eggs provide essential proteins, but they were also an excellent source of vitamins like vitamin D, A, and E, which were crucial for maintaining health. The high-quality protein in eggs helped with muscle repair and growth, while the vitamins supported immunity and overall well-being. The sustainability of egg production in medieval times cannot be overstated. Without refrigeration or modern food preservation methods, fresh eggs were valued for their ability to last longer without spoiling. Farmers would often use methods like keeping eggs in cool, dry places or storing them in salt or lime to preserve them for the long winter months. These practices ensured that eggs remained available year-round, even when fresh meat and vegetables were not as easily obtainable. The use of eggs in medieval times extended beyond just the nutrition they provided. They were also essential in the preparation of baked goods and other dishes that required eggs as a key ingredient. In fact, eggs were used in a variety of recipes, from custards to pies, as they added texture, richness, and flavor to dishes. Eggs were not just a food staple, but were also symbolic in medieval culture. They were often seen as a representation of fertility, life, and renewals. The egg, as a symbol of new beginnings, was woven into various cultural and religious practices. For instance, eggs were often associated with religious feasts and celebrations, where they were blessed and consumed as part of rituals. This cultural reverence for eggs further elevated their status as a superfood in medieval times, highlighting their importance not just as food, but as a symbol of abundance and health. In conclusion, medieval eggs were far more than just a dietary staple. They were a powerful, natural source of nutrition, produced under conditions that allowed their full potential to be realized. The combination of free-range hens, a natural and varied diet, and a lack of industrial processing resulted in eggs that were not only delicious, but also packed with essential nutrients. The eggs of medieval times were a superfood in every sense of the word, and their nutritional value made them an irreplaceable part of daily life for both the wealthy and the common folk. With the dawn of the Industrial Revolution in the 18th century, the world saw a profound shift in how food was produced, processed, and consumed. While this transformation brought about numerous technological advancements that improved many aspects of life, it also had a dramatic and often negative impact on the food industry, particularly the way eggs were produced. Prior to industrial farming, eggs were harvested from small, free-range farms where hens were allowed to roam freely and feed naturally. However, the rapid urbanization and the rise of factory farming changed the way eggs were produced, leading to a significant decline in their quality. This shift marked the beginning of the end for the once cherished superfood that eggs had been in medieval times. One of the most significant changes was the move toward mass production. As cities grew and the demand for food increased, farmers began to adopt more efficient methods of raising poultry. Large-scale poultry farms were established, and hens were no longer free to roam in open fields. Instead, they were confined to small, overcrowded cages, which restricted their natural behavior. These factory farms, designed to maximize output, led to a significant decline in the quality of the eggs produced. The hens were kept in close quarters with little room to move, leading to stress, disease, and poor overall health. The cramped conditions also made it difficult for the hens to exercise, which further affected the quality of the eggs. Hens that are stressed or sickly tend to produce eggs that are nutritionally inferior, with lower levels of essential nutrients like omega-3 fatty acids and vitamins. In addition to the poor living conditions, the diet of industrially raised hens also changed dramatically. Instead of foraging freely for a variety of seeds, insects, and plants, hens were now fed a diet primarily consisting of processed grains and soy. This shift in diet led to eggs that were less nutrient-dense than those from their free-range ancestors. The industrial diet for hens was high in carbohydrates and lacked the variety of natural foods that would have enriched their eggs with important nutrients. As a result, factory-farmed eggs became lower in beneficial nutrients like omega-3 and vitamin D, while containing higher levels of unhealthy fats and cholesterol. This dietary shift not only affected the nutritional quality of eggs, but also increased the health risks associated with consuming them. Another major issue with the industrialization of egg production was the widespread use of antibiotics and hormones. In factory farms, where space and resources were limited, hens were often treated with antibiotics to prevent the spread of disease and to promote faster growth. The overuse of antibiotics in poultry farming has been linked to the development of antibiotic-resistant bacteria, which pose a serious threat to human health. Additionally, hormones was sometimes used to increase egg production, leading to eggs that were not only less nutritious, but also potentially harmful. These chemicals could remain in the eggs and be passed on to consumers, raising concerns about their long-term health effects. The shift to industrial farming also led to the widespread use of refrigeration and chemical preservatives to extend the shelf life of eggs. While refrigeration helped prevent eggs from spoiling quickly, it also meant that eggs could be stored for longer periods before reaching consumers. This extended storage time contributed to a decline in the freshness and quality of the eggs. Unlike the fresh, nutrient-rich eggs of medieval times, which were consumed soon after being laid, modern eggs are often weeks or even months old by the time they reach the grocery store. This aging process causes the eggs to lose moisture and nutrients, resulting in a product that is less flavorful and less nutritious. Furthermore, the rise of factory farming led to a lack of transparency in the egg production process. Consumers had little to no insight into how the eggs were produced or the conditions under which the hens were raised. This lack of transparency made it difficult for consumers to make informed choices about the quality of the eggs they were purchasing. Unlike medieval times, when eggs were often locally sourced and produced with care, Modern eggs became just another commodity in the mass-produced food system, where cost and efficiency were prioritized over quality and ethical practices. In conclusion, the Industrial Revolution brought about significant changes to egg production, transforming eggs from a natural, nutrient-dense superfood into a mass-produced commodity. The shift to factory farming, with its overcrowded conditions, poor diets, overuse of antibiotics and hormones, and reliance on refrigeration, resulted in eggs that were nutritionally inferior and potentially harmful. The rise of industrial farming practices marked the decline of the egg as a true superfood, and the quality of eggs has continued to suffer as modern farming techniques have been further refined to maximize efficiency and profit. While some improvements have been made with the rise of organic and free-range egg production, the legacy of industrial farming continues to impact the eggs we consume today. Today, eggs are often seen as a potential health risk rather than the superfood they once were. The transformation of eggs from a nutrient-packed source of protein to a controversial food item is largely due to the modern farming practices that prioritize efficiency over health and nutrition. In contrast to the medieval era, when eggs were produced by free-range hens living in natural conditions, today's eggs come from factory farms where the conditions under which hens are kept contribute to a decline in egg quality and an increase in health concerns. Modern eggs have become associated with several health risks, including high cholesterol, foodborne illnesses, and even potential links to cancer, making them a subject of ongoing debate among health experts. One of the most significant health concerns with modern eggs is their high cholesterol content. While cholesterol is a necessary substance in the body, excessive levels of it can contribute to heart disease. Eggs, particularly those from factory farms, have been shown to contain high amounts of cholesterol. While the yolk of an egg contains most of the cholesterol, even consuming the egg whites can have an impact, as they may still carry trace amounts. Over the years, numerous studies have linked high cholesterol levels with an increased risk of cardiovascular diseases, leading to widespread advice against consuming eggs in excess. The high cholesterol content found in modern eggs is a result of the industrialized feeding practices, where hens are often fed an unnatural diet that promotes fat and cholesterol buildup in their eggs. Another major concern is the risk of foodborne illness, particularly salmonella, which has become a widespread issue in modern egg production. In factory farming, hens are kept in overcrowded, unsanitary conditions, which create an environment that is conducive to the spread of disease. The stress, poor nutrition, and lack of proper hygiene in factory farms compromise the hens' immune systems, making them more susceptible to infections. Salmonella, a bacterium commonly found in eggs, can cause severe food poisoning in humans, leading to symptoms like nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and abdominal cramps. While the risk of salmonella infection has been somewhat mitigated through refrigeration and pasteurization methods, it remains a serious concern for anyone consuming eggs from non-pasteurized sources. The factory farm environment, where antibiotics are often used to prevent diseases, also contributes to the spread of antibiotic-resistant strains of bacteria, making salmonella infections even more difficult to treat. The use of antibiotics in modern egg production raises additional health concerns. In factory farms, hens are often given antibiotics to prevent disease and promote faster growth. While this practice may help keep hens alive in overcrowded conditions, it also poses a significant risk to human health. The overuse of antibiotics in poultry farming has been linked to the rise of antibiotic-resistant bacteria, which are harder to treat and pose a serious threat to public health. When humans consume eggs that have been contaminated with antibiotic-resistant bacteria, they may develop infections that are difficult or impossible to treat with standard antibiotics. This growing issue has sparked concern among health organizations, which have called for a reduction in the use of antibiotics in animal farming to combat the spread of resistance. Additionally, the quality of modern eggs is diminished by the unnatural diets of hens in factory farms. Hens raised in confined, industrialized environments are typically fed a diet of grains, soy, and other processed feed, This diet is far removed from the natural, varied diet of free-range hens in the past. As a result, factory-farmed eggs lack many of the beneficial nutrients found in eggs produced by hens allowed to roam freely. Modern eggs tend to be low in omega-3 fatty acids and vitamin D, which are vital for heart health, immune function, and overall well-being. The lack of diversity in the hens' diet also leads to a reduction in the egg's overall nutritional value. Even though eggs are marketed as a great source of protein and essential nutrients, the reality is that most commercially available eggs are nutritionally inferior to those produced under more natural conditions. Furthermore, the chemical and hormonal treatments used in modern farming practices raise concerns about the long-term health effects of consuming factory-farmed eggs. In some cases, hens are treated with growth hormones to increase egg production, which can have residual effects on the eggs themselves. While the use of growth hormones in poultry farming is banned in many countries, including the European Union, they are still used in some regions, particularly in industrial farms. These hormones can find their way into the eggs, potentially affecting consumers' health over time. Additionally, some factory farms use chemicals to clean and disinfect eggs, and these chemicals may remain on the shells, posing a risk to consumers if they are not properly washed before consumption. In conclusion, modern eggs are linked to several health risks, ranging from high cholesterol and antibiotic resistance to the potential for foodborne illnesses. The industrialization of egg production has stripped away much of the nutritional value that made eggs a superfood in the past. Today's eggs, especially those from factory farms, pose significant health risks due to the conditions in which the hens are raised, their diet, and the use of antibiotics and hormones. While there are healthier alternatives, such as eggs from pasture-raised hens, the widespread consumption of modern eggs continues to be a contentious issue, as consumers are increasingly aware of the potential dangers that come with eating factory-farmed eggs. As the demand for healthier, more sustainable food options grows, it remains to be seen whether eggs can reclaim their status as the superfood they once were. In the contemporary world, eggs have become a topic of debate, with some experts emphasizing the risks associated with consuming modern eggs, while others continue to argue for their benefits when consumed correctly. As we've seen, industrialized farming practices have significantly altered the quality of eggs, leading to health concerns related to cholesterol, foodborne illnesses, and the use of antibiotics. However, despite these challenges, eggs remain a valuable and versatile food that can still play a role in a healthy diet when sourced properly. Today, eggs from pastured hens, often labeled as organic or free-range, provide a healthier alternative to their factory-farmed counterparts. These eggs are gaining popularity as consumers increasingly demand more transparency and sustainability in their food choices. Pasture-raised eggs are far superior to the eggs produced in industrialized factory farms, both in terms of nutritional value and ethical considerations. Hens that are allowed to roam freely on pasture are not only healthier, but also produce eggs that are richer in nutrients. These hens are typically fed a more natural diet consisting of grasses, seeds, insects, and other forage, which results in eggs that contain higher levels of omega-3 fatty acids, vitamins A, D, and E, and other essential nutrients. The yolks of pasture-raised eggs are often darker and more vibrant than those of factory-farmed eggs, reflecting the higher nutritional content, particularly the presence of beneficial fats and vitamins. This difference in nutrient composition makes pasture-raised eggs a much healthier option for consumers seeking to avoid the risks associated with modern, industrially produced eggs. One of the key benefits of consuming pasture-raised eggs is the significant reduction in the unhealthy fats and cholesterol levels found in factory-farmed eggs. Hens raised in factory farms are often confined to small cages and fed a diet high in soy and corn, which increases the omega-6 fatty acids in their eggs, promoting inflammation and contributing to cardiovascular disease risk. In contrast, the diet of pasture-raised hens, which includes a variety of natural foods, results in eggs with a much healthier balance of omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. Omega-3s are essential for heart health, brain function, and inflammation control, and are known for their protective effects against chronic diseases such as heart disease and certain cancers. Therefore, by choosing pasture-raised eggs, consumers can enjoy the benefits of healthy fats without the added risks associated with factory-farmed eggs. Beyond the nutritional advantages, pasture-raised eggs are also more sustainable and ethically produced. Factory farming has become a major environmental concern, contributing to deforestation, water pollution, and the emission of greenhouse gases. In contrast, pasture-based farming practices are generally more sustainable, as they prioritize animal welfare, biodiversity, and the use of organic farming techniques. Hens that are allowed to roam freely on pasture are better able to express their natural behaviors, such as scratching the ground and pecking for insects, which improves their overall well-being. These hens are typically not subjected to the same levels of stress and overcrowding that are common in industrial farming, making their eggs more ethically produced and better for the environment. As more consumers become aware of the environmental and ethical implications of their food choices, the demand for pasture-raised eggs continues to rise. In addition to the nutritional and ethical benefits, modern advancements in farming and food production have led to a growing number of alternatives to traditional eggs. For individuals who may be concerned about the health risks associated with consuming eggs or who follow plant-based diets, egg alternatives made from plant-based ingredients have become increasingly popular. These egg substitutes are often made from ingredients such as mung beans, soy, and chickpeas, which provide similar textures and flavors to traditional eggs. While these plant-based alternatives may not offer the same nutrient profile as pasture-raised eggs, they can still provide an option for those looking to avoid the risks associated with modern egg production. Furthermore, technological innovations in farming have paved the way for the production of cleaner, more transparent egg sources. Consumers can now find eggs from companies that prioritize animal welfare, use organic farming practices, and avoid the use of harmful chemicals and pesticides. The rise of certifications like Certified Humane and Animal Welfare Approved ensures that consumers can make more informed choices about the eggs they purchase, supporting farming practices that promote the health of both the animals and the environment. In conclusion, while modern eggs from factory farms may pose health risks due to their high cholesterol, potential contamination, and lack of nutrients, there is still hope for eggs to reclaim their position as a valuable part of a healthy diet. By choosing eggs from pastured, organic, and free-range sources, consumers can enjoy a healthier, more sustainable, and ethically produced egg option. These eggs are richer in essential nutrients, including omega-3 fatty acids and vitamins, and are produced under conditions that support animal welfare and environmental sustainability. As the demand for more responsible food choices grows, eggs from pasture-raised hens offer a viable solution to the challenges posed by modern egg production, allowing people to enjoy this versatile food while minimizing the health risks and ethical concerns associated with factory-farmed eggs. As we move into the future, the question arises, can eggs truly reclaim their superfood status? Or are we doomed to continue consuming a product that has been significantly altered by modern farming practices? Despite the many challenges and health concerns surrounding the industrial production of eggs, there is still hope. With increased consumer awareness and demand for healthier, more sustainable food options, there are steps we can take to bring eggs back to their original, nutrient-dense form. By making smarter, more informed choices about the eggs we buy and how they are produced, we can ensure that eggs once again become the wholesome, nourishing food they were meant to be. The first step in reclaiming eggs as a superfood is choosing the right source. As we've seen, eggs from factory farms, where hens are confined to small cages and fed a diet of processed grains, are nutritionally inferior and often come with health risks. However, eggs from pasture-raised hens offer a significantly healthier alternative. Pasture-raised eggs are produced by hens that have access to the outdoors, allowing them to eat a more natural diet of grass, insects, and seeds. This results in eggs that are richer in nutrients, particularly omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D, and antioxidants. These eggs have a more balanced fatty acid profile, with a better ratio of omega-3 to omega-6 fatty acids, which is crucial for reducing inflammation and supporting cardiovascular health. The yolks are often darker and more vibrant, a clear sign of the higher nutrient content. By choosing eggs from pasture-raised or organic farms, consumers can enjoy the full nutritional benefits of eggs without the health risks associated with factory-farmed products. Alongside selecting the right eggs, another important step is promoting sustainable farming practices. The rise of factory farming has led to significant environmental challenges, from deforestation and water pollution to greenhouse gas emissions. However, sustainable farming practices, such as regenerative agriculture and rotational grazing, are gaining traction as viable alternatives to industrial farming. These practices not only prioritize animal welfare, but also aim to improve soil health, increase biodiversity, and reduce the environmental footprint of food production. By supporting farms that use these methods, consumers can contribute to a food system that is both healthier for humans and more sustainable for the planet. This shift toward more sustainable farming practices is essential for ensuring that eggs can once again be considered a superfood, not just for their nutritional value, but also for their role in supporting a more sustainable food system. In addition to sourcing eggs responsibly, there is also a growing interest in egg alternatives. For those who are concerned about the health risks associated with consuming eggs or who follow plant-based diets, egg alternatives have emerged as a popular solution. These alternatives, made from plant-based ingredients such as mung beans, chickpeas, and soy, offer a similar taste and texture to traditional eggs while avoiding the issues associated with factory farming. While these plant-based alternatives may not provide the same nutrient profile as pasture-raised eggs, they can still play a role in creating a more sustainable food system, as they typically have a lower environmental impact and fewer ethical concerns. The growing popularity of egg substitutes has the potential to transform the egg industry, providing consumers with a wider range of options that align with their health and ethical preferences. As we look to the future, technology and innovation will also play a critical role in transforming the egg industry. Advancements in food production and farming technologies are already paving the way for new methods of egg production that are both healthier and more sustainable. For example, lab-grown eggs, produced using cell culturing techniques, are being developed as a way to bypass the ethical and environmental issues associated with traditional egg farming. These lab-grown eggs could provide consumers with a product that is identical to the real thing, but without the need for factory farms or the use of antibiotics and hormones. While this technology is still in its infancy, it represents a promising future for eggs, allowing for the continued consumption of this versatile food while addressing many of the concerns surrounding modern egg production. In addition to technological advancements, consumer education and advocacy will be essential for reclaiming eggs as a superfood. The rise of social media and consumer-driven movements has already led to increased awareness about the health risks and ethical implications of factory-farmed eggs. As more people become conscious of the impact their food choices have on their health, the environment, and animal welfare, there will likely be an increasing demand for eggs that are produced under higher welfare standards. This shift in consumer behavior will encourage more farmers to adopt sustainable and humane farming practices, which could lead to a resurgence in the popularity of eggs as a healthy, nutrient-rich food source. In conclusion, while modern eggs have lost much of their nutritional value and are associated with several health risks due to the practices of industrial farming, there is still hope for the future. By making informed choices and supporting sustainable, ethical farming practices, we can bring eggs back to their rightful place as a superfood. Whether through choosing pasture-raised eggs, supporting alternative egg options, or embracing new technologies, the future of eggs looks promising as consumers continue to demand higher quality, more sustainable food. Eggs have the potential to once again become the wholesome, nutrient-dense food that they were in the past. Through a combination of responsible sourcing, innovation, and consumer advocacy, we can ensure that eggs remain a valuable part of our diets, providing us with the nutrition and benefits they were always meant to offer. Eggs used to be a superfood, and they can be again. The key is to know where your eggs come from. Don't let modern farming practices fool you. Choose wisely. If you want more insights on food, health, and the future of our diets, hit that subscribe button and stay informed.